Infotainment, ukamva sasi igulira sasi umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera. Tikuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhalenso chani nkhani za msanguluso. A weekend package with so many activities. We've got lots more to tell you on that, but in this edition, Hannah Kadamanja, a gospel artist all the way from Blantyre, launches her debut album titled Anandimenyera Nkhondo, and at the same time she has postponed her Lilongwe concert. We've got lots more to tell you on that. And again, an 11-year-old boy by the name of Kwima Kaira has published his book titled Greatest 11 at 11 years, but he is still swimming in publishing a book. We also talk about Tawonga Taja Nkonjera getting set for the launch of his book titled Hey Holiday, and he's launching it at Sunbelt Mount Sochi in Blantyre, where Ben Mangamba will be gracing the show. And he also speaks to us about the Malawi Lanes project, which starts at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre. We've got lots more to tell you in this edition of Infotainment. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. And my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now, we begin our program on a rather exciting note. A book by an 11-year-old by the name of Kwima Kaira, all the way from Blantyre, and this book is titled Greatest 11. So at 11 years old, he has managed to publish a book, and with the support of his parents, he is out to tell a story about football. He loves football very much, and here he is out with his very first book, and the parents have supported him. And coming from a generation or a clan which loves books and loves writing, you may recall the name Legison Kaira, who wrote a book titled I Will Try, and he's just following in the footsteps of Legison Kaira. But at 11, he's out with his very, very first book, and we caught up with Kwima Kaira as well as his father Isaac Kaira to share more about this book, Greatest 11. How did it come up? How did he manage to publish this book at 11 years old? We hear from Kwima Kaira as well as his father Isaac Kaira.
Jason loved football. He loved football. What he liked the most was playing football. Football. Each time he woke up, he would go outside to play. He would then bath, go to school, come back, do his homework and play again. Oh, he wasn't the only one who was crazy about football. All his friends, his best friend Jake and the rest, Jonathan, Zach, Chico and Tim. I think what led me to write this book was to spread my ideas out there to the world. Very excited. I think 1 month for writing the book, but at least 3 or 4 in the editing and the publication. Yes, I think I'll write more books in the future. I'll tell them that it's quite fun to write books. Even if they don't want to write them, they could even try read them. They would meet by the old dusty pitch with huge goal posts, but they did not care. They just played even if the ball was old, dirty and deflated. They just wanted to play.
The boy is a footballer. He likes football. and he's actually written a book in the area of his interest. I was actually surprised when I was recording to edit the manuscript. So it is the own talent. Well, there's no formula how to raise a child. So it's quite an exciting time. Yeah, so I just congratulate you. Well, in fact, just looking at the publication of this book, there have been a lot of commitment from us as parents. So we'll continue pushing him to grow his talent. And he's actually embarked already on part 2 of the same book. He's a sports person, so he's an outdoor person. In a day, maybe about 2 hours, he'll be praying. Then he also likes watching TV and doing a lot of reading. So basically, that's what he does. Yes, I'm quite happy that we've added some availability of resources, and I think and I believe that it will be also an incentive or a moral booster to most other children of his age. I hope and I believe that more will come. My comment is that I'll call on all my fellow parents that they should be supportive of their children's incentives. They might not all be writers, but any other incentive, whether it's a footballer or an netballer, or other talent at work, whatever the talent the child has, I think we as parents, we just need to assist, and that talent has to be developed and come out very clear from the children.
So the book, The Greatest 11, Greatest 11, Kwima Kaira, doing wonders, especially at 11 years old, publishing a book. I was just taking a look at the book itself. If you go through, it's saying this book is coming straight from the mouth and imaginations of an 11-year-old boy. He's actually looking forward to writing and publishing another book that will be Greatest 11, probably season 2 or something like that. So it's all football, so it moves in the blood, and as he is popularly known as KK, Kwima Kaira, it's KK, so he's extending all this in the crown, and he looks at late son Didimas Kaira, who authored I Will Try, and he's also looking at his aunt Mbono Dube, who is a novelist and who has authored My Mother, My Inspiration, and other novels as well. And his mother is a storyteller and writer. So wish Kwima Kaira all the best as he continues to walk in this writing world. We've talked about the absence of enough material, especially children's books on the market in the country. So if you have children themselves coming out and writing books, it gives hope, and to say that we'll have a world that has more books. We've been talking about technology overtaking things, where people are moving away in terms of interest of reading and writing. But if you have the younger ones starting now to come out and say, let's write books, that gives us hope that all is not lost. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now, moving out of a book or books or writing or reading, we go to music. And this time around, we want to talk about a gospel singer by the name of Hannah Kadamanja. Hannah Kadamanja last Saturday launched her debut album titled Anandimenyera Nkhondo, and she launched it in style at Golden Peacock in Blantyre. What surprised many people is that this was her first launch, but she decided to go it corporate. And it was some of the people were saying, why did she go for corporate? And no, it's expensive. That's what they were talking about. But she tried it, and people came, and the guest of honor was Blantyre Synod General Secretary Reverend Bire Gama, who got the CD at 500,000 kwacha, and he also gave out 100,000 kwacha. This this one now was coming from the synod, and a lot of people came out. Others contributed 300,000 kwacha, and in total the CD basically raked in over 2 million kwacha. So it was a success. And apart from her as the headliner performing, we also had Joyful Souls who also performed. So we're there as Infotainment, and we captured the moments, and we had an interview with Hannah Gadamanja, as well as the guest of honor, Reverend Bire Gama. Let's take a look.
Oh Lord, my God, when I was someone consider all the works thy hands have made. I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed.
I just want to put it very clear that indeed this launching was very successful. Why am I saying that it was very successful? Hannah is a Malawian, but with very special talents. There are so many Malawians in this country with talents, and Hannah is just one of them. We as Malawians, we need to learn to support our own local talented people. Music is very powerful. Music heals. Music entertains. So this is just one of the many Malawians that are talented. But Hannah is very unique. So Malawians, we should learn to support people with the talents. If we do that, we are going to have a good country where people are going to be, and they'll feel encouraged because of their talents.
It's a different feeling altogether. I did not know how this night would be, but finally, as you can see, I'm full of joy. You know, I'm so excited that God has done it finally. We just planned, but God has finally made it possible for this launch to be done. Yeah, most of the times as people are applying for the launch, they target the mass. And I say, no, as for me, let me meet everyone at his own level. And I thought it wise that I can start with the corporate world. That can also help, because these are the people that love music, that like music, but they don't really like associating with the crowd. And as for me, I just planned, but I did not even know that how the audience are really. I'm so happy that God gave me the audience and everyone enjoyed it. I'm sure everyone will talk about this launch that has happened. Indeed, I have left a mark because I took a risk to say I'm doing a corporate event that is not that common, but God has really done it.
Yeah, that's how it was, the launch of Anani Nyirangondo at Golden Peacock in Blantyre. By the way, she was supposed to take the launch to BICC, that's Bingo International Convention Center in Lilongwe this weekend, but she has decided to postpone the launch due to other circumstances. One of them is that two shows were crashing. Another show by Faith Musa was also taking place at the same venue at the same time and the same place. So she decided that no, I have to give a chance to Faith Musa to do his show at BICC, and then I'll come later. So she's working on a new date, and that will be communicated. That's what she has said. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. We'll still continue with different stories in terms of arts and culture as well as entertainment. And now, one Tawonga Taja Ngonjera, he's a filmmaker, a poet, a writer, a playwright, and he's just so much into different talents. This time around, he's out with a new book. And this book is titled Hey Holiday, and he will launch it at Sunbelt Mount Sochi in Blantyre. And the launch will draw together different acts, apart from him as the headliner, Ben Mangamba, who is also village head Chingalire, will spice up the event. And apart from that, he is also into the project of Malawi Lanes. And Malawi Lanes kicks off at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre. That's on Saturday. And this is a platform where they'll be screening strictly Malawian movies. So we caught up with Tawonga Taja Ngonjera to tell us more about these two projects. And we hear from Tawonga Taja Ngonjera.
In the flat lands, in the heart of the land below the high plateau, there grew many mushrooms. Amongst the blossoming mushrooms, there roamed Bongororo Muranda. Muranda was a young millipede who crawled the floor of the forest, looking for anything to sink his teeth in and fill up his stomach. So the book is called Hey Holiday and Other Stories. So it's a collection of 10 stories, starting with Hey Holiday, and then Ganguli, Galilima, Amagwegwe, Chilema, and several other stories. Basically, it's a collection of folk tales that we have in Malawi, that have been told over the years, over the centuries, up until I got to hear some of those stories, and I thought, why don't I put these stories in a book? That way, the book is always going to be there, and children that will come after me, centuries that will come after me, will have access to these stories instead of always hearing about, folklore, Ntano Zinata, we don't even tell each other stories anymore, things like that. We do have our stories. We do have a lot of stories, a lot, like you can't even begin to imagine. So this is just the beginning. This is the first in a series of so many books that will come that will have traditional folklore. Now, this book, we're launching it on Sunday, 6 p.m. at Mount Sochi Hotel in Capitol Room. Basically, the idea of the launch is we want to have a way that we get this book to be on every bedside table in every household in Malawi. We want this book to be in every primary and secondary school. Children should have access to it, should read it. We want this book to be in every community library. We want this book to be in everybody's backpack, in everybody's handbag, so that when they're traveling, when they're at home, when they're about to go to bed, when they're listening to music, relaxing, they're reading this book, they're reading the stories that are in this book. So the launch will be at 6 p.m. And for the launch, just to spice it up, we have invited Ben Mankamba. He was almost always hungry. Muranda was an orphan, hence his name. Bongororo Muranda had a best friend, Bongororo Wanyina, who lived with his mother in one of the halls next to a big, majestic mushroom. Malawi Lens is a recognition of all the work that is being done in the film sector. Now, for the film sector to really take off. We have taken off. We are making films. Shem Joy is here. I make films. Lawrence Ruhanga makes films. We have Sukes, Ashukiri. So filmmakers are rising. We are taking strides in film. The problem is we need to galvanize all those efforts and come together. Have a platform where if people in Blantyre say, okay, I know that Tata makes films, I know that Shemjoy makes films, where can I go watch their films? Malawi Lens is that platform. But also you as a filmmaker, if you make films and you don't have a platform where you can showcase your films, bring your films and we will be showcasing them at Malawi Lens. So basically every last Saturday of every month, be guaranteed there will be a film. So the philosophy is we are showing strictly Malawian films. And the whole idea is to bring an audience, a very, very eclectic audience that understands film, that will say, we will sit down and we will critique your film. The whole reason is for us to improve on the production value of our films. The quality of our films should be of international standard.
Yeah, that's Tawonga Taja Nkonjera telling us more about two projects. You heard him talk about Holiday, a book, a collection of folktales he is launching at Sunbelt Mount Sochi in Blantyre. And then he also spoke about Malawi Lanes, a platform that seeks to grow the film industry in the country, giving a platform to filmmakers out there to bring in the movies and showcase them, as well as get critiqued so that they bring out quality movies. Continuing with the program, and this time around we are back to music, and there is an artist by the name of Ernest Kububa. Ernest Kububa is drawing his journey from a choir. He started with the choir. He's performed for the choir for a long time and he's been a choir master. And this time around, he's decided to go solo, and he's out with a new album. And this album will be launched on June 13. That's at Zomba CCAP. So we caught up with Ernest Kububa to tell us more about this project, as well as a concert that is coming on June 13, 2021. Let's hear from Ernest Kububa.
Mzimu wa Yesu mutidzazefe dinu chitsime chamazi amoyo Mzimu oyera Mzimu wa Yesu mutidzazefe. We've organized a show, a concert, which we're calling an Atmosphere of Grace concert, considering that we've passed through difficult times from 2019 up to today. So much has happened, but God has preserved our lives, and it's just something that will help us reflect and praise God for preserving us. He's giving us the grace to be here today. Concept. It's not going to be like a happy, jumpy show where people will sweat and whatever. We want to give an opportunity to people to worship God, to appreciate His beauty through the art of music. Where whoever we will be singing on that day, we will just allow people to be themselves in the presence of God. I grew up in Zomba. Zomba made me. So it's a thing of like going back to Zomba and say, Ziko Mwambiri, you've made me, and let us worship God together. So again, I think I have a base in Zomba. Many people know me in Zomba. It is an album that has 10 songs. Some of the songs are hymns, but some of them are the ones that I composed. All the songs are aimed at encouraging people to move on. For instance, the title track, Yembegezela Yehova. It is a song that is encouraging somebody to say that regardless of the situations they are passing through, the hurdles they are trying to push, they should still trust upon the Lord, that the Lord is going to fight their battles until they become successful. When I was in Zomba, I took choir music as a ministry, and I still consider that. So I didn't want to divide my attention to my personal projects and the music. But when I moved to Blantyre, I found that opportunity, especially again with the COVID when all the choirs were stopped. So that period allowed me to do my personal project. But I'm still a choir member. Today I'm with Michiru CCP Youth Choir. 15 August, I'll be in Lilongwe, Kaning CCP. The press team has invited me there because I was one of the people that helped to found the press team. I was very much instrumental in releasing the album. In fact, the song Zimu Oyera was originally done by the Kaning press team. They permitted me to do it again. Yembekezela Yehova moyo wanga kulupilirwa dzina la Yesu iye wosunga moyo wako sawozera sagona.
That's Ernest Kububa telling us more about the event coming up on June 13. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment, and I hope you've enjoyed what I brought unto you. Remember, Soldier Lucius Banda has released a new single titled Ndino Yemweyo, and again Mabel Banda Konje has actually brought out what is known as the Boudoir fashion show. We'll be looking forward to that. The event took place on Friday at BICC in Lilongwe, where Black Diamond also performed the Patience Namadingo as well as Sipe. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed what I brought unto you in this edition of Infotainment. My name is Sam Banda Jr. Continue watching Times Television as well as Infotainment. But I will leave you with a performance of Mzati, who performed last Thursday at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre during the Sounds of Malawi acoustic session. I'm out of here. Ciao.
The song we are starting with, it's called Peter. And Peter is a love song. Fotokozana vete tapita moyo wanga vete tapita sukala oyamba kumkono litapita moyo wanga vete tapita